Graphing quads. Let's talk about graphing these guys. Now, really quick, there's two different forms of graphing or quadratic functions that we have looked at so far. The only form that we haven't looked at yet is factored form, but we're going to be looking at that next unit. Let's just focus on these two right here. We have vertex form and standard form. Vertex form looks like this. It has the A out in front. It has an H and a K, and the marking characteristic of a vertex form is that it has these parentheses with a squared. Now, you don't have to have those parentheses. If there's no H, then there wouldn't be any parentheses. Standard form looks like this. Looks like a standard polynomial. Okay, we have our A, B, and C for that form. And let me show you guys some of the differences between these two. If you're graphing using vertex form, the vertex is very easy to find. The vertex is staring you in the face. It's the H and the K, very easy to find. And then our axis of symmetry is also very easy to find because that's the middle X. That is the X value of the vertex. So you can call that the H. And you always have to have the X equals for the axis of symmetry. Then also you have the max and min, which is the K. The K is the Y value of the vertex. Now, if we go over to the standard form, it's a little harder to find. If you wanted to find the vertex, you're going to have to find the axis of symmetry. And to find the axis of symmetry, you're going to have to use the axis of symmetry formula. The axis of symmetry formula is negative b over 2a. So pretty much the x value of the vertex is negative b over 2a. Then if you were looking for the max and min, normally you're just looking at the y value for the vertex. So in order to find the y value for the vertex, you're going to have to take that negative b over 2a and plug it into the function. So you can see the standard form is a little bit more difficult to use than the vertex form when it comes to graphing. Okay, now I want to talk really quickly about how to go back and forth from vertex to standard form. If you just want to get straight to the graphing, stop this video and go to the next one that says part 2. Okay, all right, so let's do an example here. So here's a quadratic function in vertex form. First thing you would do to get it over to standard form is you would get rid of the power. The power means the x minus 3 twice. And so you multiply it together, and this is what you get. Just in case you guys forgot, you have to use the box or rainbows or distribution in order to find the answer that I just got. And I did that for you right here, and you can see really clearly how I got that 6, that negative 6. I just had to add the two negative 3's together. All right, so let's do a little bit more simplifying. Add that 9 and the 1 together, and boom, there you have it. There's standard form. So there's my standard form. And just so you guys can see it, there's my A, there's my B, there's my C. The A is the hidden 1, the B is the negative 6, and the C is the 10. Okay, so if I wanted to change this back into vertex form, I'm going to have to add and subtract a number. It's the same number to this so that I can do some factoring and make it look like vertex form. Let me rewrite this to make this a little bit easier for me to work with. Okay, so I put the plus a number in there and the minus number in there. And this right here is the puzzle that we worked on a lot during our thinking tasks. Okay, if you remember those puzzles, you know that this right here is a 9. And the way we get that 9, you guys figured it out on your own. You took the 6, divided it by 2, and then squared it. When you did that, you get 9, and that's the number that you put right there. Whatever you add, you have to also subtract. So we got to put the 9 over there as well. And then we can factor. Okay, this right here, the x squared minus 6x plus 9 can be written as x minus 3 squared. And that's factoring, going from there to there. I did not forget about the 10 and a 9. You just put those on at the end. 10 minus 9 is 1. And there you have it. There's our vertex form. Yay, it works. Okay, same thing. All right, let me show you guys one more because these things do tend to get kind of hairy. And they get hairy when you have a number that for the A instead of a positive 1. Watch what happens. I do my multiplying, my power right there. So I have x minus 5 times x minus 5. I get x squared plus 10x plus 25. And just as a reminder, this is how you find those numbers. And you can see right here, that's where I get the 10, the 2, 5 x's. And then you have to multiply that 2 out. So once you distribute the 2 to all of those terms, this is what you got. And then the finishing touch, adding the 51 and the 1 gives me that. And that's my standard form. In that standard form, my A is 2, my B is 20, and my C is 51. Ooh, man, this thing is looking crazy. So I'm going to do the same thing as last time, but I'm going to add it in right here. I have to add a number and then subtract a number. Now, I added these parentheses to help you guys see what I'm about to do next, because this is where things get kind of crazy. This 2 can't be there in order for me to complete the square. And so what I have to do is I have to factor the 2 out of these parentheses. And when I factor that 2 out of these parentheses, I get x squared plus 10x plus blank. Okay, so the only thing that changes, I factored the 2 out. That meant I had to divide this number and this number by 2, and that's how I got those guys down there. Now, what number goes here? Well, that's 25. And if you remember solving these puzzles, you take the 10 divided by 2 and square it. That's how you get to 25. Boom. Don't forget, you have to subtract the number that you add. But we're not really adding 25. I know, guys, this is so crazy. It's so different than the last one. The last one, we just added 9, subtracted 9. But here's the thing. I'm not really adding a 25. I'm adding a 2 times 25. So that means I have to actually subtract a 50, because 2 times 25 is 50. All right, so now let's write it out. We have 2 times something squared, and then we have our plus 1. We got plus 1 because 51 minus 50 is 1. So I factor this, and I get x plus 5, and there you have it. There's my other quadratic, or my other form, the vertex form. So that's how you go from vertex form to standard form, and then from standard form back to vertex form. Part 2 will have the graphing stuff.